Expiration dates aren't always as straightforward as they seem, and in many cases, your senses may tell you more about a food's condition than the date printed on the package. The reality behind these labels reveals how much perfectly edible food may be discarded unnecessarily. In July 2022, shoppers at Marks & Spencer, one of the United Kingdom's largest supermarket chains, learned that the retailer planned to remove best before dates from around 300 types of fruits and vegetables. Instead, employees would use a special code system to evaluate whether the produce was still fresh enough to sell. According to Marks & Spencer Director of Food Technology, Andrew Clappin, the change was designed to prevent food from being wasted simply because a printed date had passed. Although removing dates may sound risky, there is an important difference between best before and use by labels. A use by date is related to safety and indicates when food should no longer be consumed, while a best before date is about quality and tells shoppers when a product is expected to be at its peak. Marks & Spencer was not the first retailer to reconsider these labels. Several major British supermarket chains had already started removing best before dates from certain products as part of broader efforts to reduce unnecessary food waste. While eliminating best before labels may seem unlikely to become common practice everywhere, food waste advocates argue that the approach could help prevent edible products from being thrown away. They point out that inconsistent standards around these labels can create confusion for consumers. Dana Gunders, executive director of the food waste nonprofit ReFed, explained to CNN Business, "It is a complete Wild West. Many consumers really believe that they are being told to throw the food out, or that even when they don't make that choice, that they're sort of breaking some rule." Emily Broad-Lieb, director of Harvard Law School's Food Policy Clinic, told Vox, "There is a reason manufacturers add a best by date, and that is they want you to eat things when they taste the absolute best. Unfortunately, there are no universal rules that determine how these dates are selected. In some cases, a date may be based on consumer testing, while in others it could be little more than an educated estimate. Regardless of how the date is chosen, it usually has very little connection to whether eating the product after that point could actually make you sick." Supporters of reducing food waste argue that best before labels have become outdated because they often encourage people to throw away perfectly usable food.
You don't need to throw it out if it's past the date on the label.
Encouraging consumers to better understand these labels could potentially reduce the amount of food they purchase and replace unnecessarily. Tamar Adler, author of An Everlasting Meal, Cooking with Economy and Grace, told Vox, "It's in the general interest of anybody trying to sell anything to continue to perpetuate the illusion that our foods are going bad all the time. We could buy half as much food. So what could happen if these labels disappeared altogether? One possible answer can be found in the United Kingdom, where another major supermarket chain, Morrison's, announced in January 2022 that it would remove use by dates from its own brand milk products. Instead, the company encouraged shoppers to rely on their senses and perform a simple sniff test to determine whether the milk was still good.
And if it doesn't pass the smell test, it may be time to throw it out.
Instead of simply removing the labels without explanation, Morrison's took the time to explain its reasoning and why it no longer wanted customers to rely solely on a best before date. The supermarket shared its perspective in a blog post. Milk is the third most wasted food and drink product in the UK, after potatoes and bread, with around 490 million pints wasted every year. And milk has the largest carbon footprint of these products because its production is so resource intensive.